What's up, studs? Kunal here. Bulls on Wall Street, guys. Happy damn Thanksgiving. Hopefully, you guys had some good time with your families, got rested, had some drinks, some, no, I wouldn't say turkey, maybe some prime rib. Hopefully, you didn't watch the Lions poop their pants in front of national audience, once again ruining Thanksgiving. How are we supposed to be thankful when the Lions are acting like that? But by the stock gods themselves, the good old Michigan Wolverines came through, pounded those evil Ohio State Buckeyes, terrible Buckeyes, those cheaters, those liars, our mortal enemies. And so now we can go into the Monday post Thanksgiving with our hearts light and full of love. Let's take a look at the market, and I'm going to give you a couple stocks that I'm watching as always. So, guys, anytime you guys are doing any type of analysis on Sunday, what you want to do is a 5-day sort on your indexes to see like where the strength is in the markets, right? You can see here like the T210 rate indicator. That's a measure of market breadth up 15%. That's very, very good. You want to see always market breadth increasing. The old ARC nations, right? You got the ARC-F. These things are pushing through. So we got nice speculative action here. You can actually see the chart on the old ARC is looking fantastic here. Maybe Kathy Johnson makes a comeback, right? You know, it could be her year. And one thing to always remember is 1 year's trash is usually the next year's treasure in the markets. We've seen this a lot, right? We saw this with oil stocks this past year and, so on and so forth. Whenever you think something looks dead, they come back alive. And so, things like ARC or maybe even solar, the IWM 2024, these things could sprout up. So always, read into the price action. But this ARC looks fantastic, right? Both of them look fantastic. Market breadth is coming. Let's take a look at the indexes here. And, dude, let's shred. So there's nothing been structurally changed on the market. I wouldn't read too much into last week's action because, well, the market was, pretty much closed for a day and a half. But really, half the week people were in and out. And the volume was light, as you can see. And, right, there was just a degenerate day trader sitting there on Friday, right, taking trades, which is what makes us awesome because we never take those days out. But you can see here, we just had a couple kind of flat days. We're consolidating here above the breakout spot. I think at the moment, no matter what our opinions are, we have to always let the price action dictate our behavior, right? So right now we are not seeing underneath the hood of the market any big red flags of deterioration. Sure, there are big red flags all over when you're reading the news and things of that nature, but we're not seeing it necessarily in the price action of stocks, and that's where we always have to focus. So far, we don't see anything. What are you going to do, right? So at this moment, kind of, for me, all systems is a go. You can see the SPY is kind of running into a little bit of resistance here. And, of course, it's very, very extended, very overbought. But till we see that deterioration in price action, you don't want to start getting, right, balls deep short. And it's the worst thing to do is, like, get short early in what turns out to be like a big market run, like a run you've been waiting for a long period of time. And then you're getting short because you think it's overbought and you're letting your opinions get in the way, and the price action hasn't shown that yet. I've made that mistake so many times where it's like I see something that's really extended and you get short early, but you were waiting for this big run for a long time too. And so now you're short when you wanted to be long, and your brains are just crisscrossing all over the place. Look, at the moment, these all just look bullish. They are extended, of course, but just something to kind of keep in mind of. The old IWM, I think this one looks fantastic, guys. If this takes out, let's take a look here. If this takes out 197.75, you guys are, we're going to have probably some fun. Then we've got ourselves a straight shot into, right, we got a straight shot into the 182s, and that's right with the kind of 200-day moving averages. If we remount that, right, then we can have some real fun, right? And we're already starting to see some signs of small caps and mid caps coming back. Maybe not the micro caps, on Twitter and stuff. When people think of small caps, they're thinking of like low float, they scored pump and dump type stuff. when I think of small cap, mid caps, I'm thinking of like the $1 billion company, the $2 billion company, the $5 billion company, things that are liquid, that are actual companies, but they're smaller, right? So we always got to think about just, putting that into perspective. Let's take a look at the watch list here. We got a lot of good stuff over here that I think we want to be aware of. I'm going to just kind of go through my faves here, and I'll put the complete list in, Discord for the group here. I'll put it in like the next 10-15 minutes. We got a firm here. I think this is probably top pick of the week. You got a flag pattern coming here. Nice red to green move on Friday. Pretty good range at $1.50, so use about its ATR. I think the ATR probably expands a little bit once this thing starts to break out this kind of, right, 294, not 294, 27 zone. And then we'll see, what's going down on this. Coin's been on a rampage. Now, guys, this is about $10 away from its 90, made $12. So, if you get like parabolic with a big gap up, you probably got to, take it short for a day. But on a longer term basis, if you see here, this is a weekly chart, right? This is like the pattern that, dreams are made of, right? We call this a base breakout. You have something that's just a weekly chart, $450, right? You spend a year basing in this kind of 30 to 100 range, right? And if it can take out this zone of love, then you've got all this, additional upside to it. So keep this on the back of your necks. I don't think probably, last week was a great week for it. It may need to rest now for a little bit, so I would be careful trying to step I would be careful stepping in front of a short on it before it's ready. And by the way, if you do short it because it's starting to speed up over this breakout line, it's a day trade. I wouldn't swing trade it or anything like that because the price action is just not showing us that it's, it's ready to do that. Let's add a couple more that I really like here. I like this net too. This is very similar look to coin. And this is the kind of names that I'm kind of focusing on, right? Beaten down names with big bases, add inflection points. I may need one more down day. Personally, I like 3 down days before, you kind of break out. But we're kind of in that nice zone. We got Amazon over here, about 148 breakdown, 148 breakout. You're just kind of bull flagging here. It's a mini bull flag. This is not a huge mover, right? Amazon moves about 2% a day, 2.37% a day, $3 ATR. You got to do the calls on this if you do it. If it busts through, probably the 148 calls for Friday should do the trick. That'll get you the kind of that juice that you need. And they're still pretty liquid. I really like Roku. It may need one more day also. You can see it's just kind of flagging out over the 9 EMA. But you got a big spot here, triple test. Also big base here. If you look at a weekly chart on this, right, it goes back. This base goes back a long period of time. If you start to clear this 100 zone, you got a shot to the 200-day moving average on the weekly chart, right? And so you got a lot of room. I really like Etsy here too. You can see here, this is a bit of beaten down name. And, I think this and W, like these kind of names are always leveraged with the market. When the market's hot, they go up a lot. When the market, takes a shitter, like they also go down the most. But, this thing was $300 and you can start to see like it's bottomed out here a little bit. And now you're building out this, just nice, happy-go-lucky flag pattern, right over the 9 EMA. It's starting to tighten up there. I think this kind of 73 zone probably puts it. If I see signs that's going to break, then I'm going to come in earlier than that, of course. And then we got old W here, still waiting on this 50-day breakout over 50. This is the weekly chart right here. You can see it's kind of nuzzle against the 9 EMA, and you've just got like a nice, easy, happy-go-lucky pattern. Let me go to hourly charts. You can see this a little bit more clearly. Right, you're testing into this level, If we can clear this, I think that's going to be a really interesting spot that we can really get behind. Guys, there's a whole host of these kind of good stocks out there. I think a couple more. This FL, nothing sexy, but it moves 5% a day, right? This is more than Amazon, right? It's more than Microsoft, more than Apple. Don't be afraid to come into names that are not the ones that everybody talks about. Of course, trading Tesla and NVIDIA and these things are fun, but there are names that actually move quite a bit more than these. And, that's something we got to always kind of keep in the back of mind. We got an easy, happy-go-lucky level here to trade around. I love when I can get a pattern and a level around the same spot. That's when you really want to have some fun with things. And then let me add 2 more here. This is a little bit more speculative. We got old Redfin here. They've been in the news because there's real estate commission stuff, but you can kind of see we've parabolically kind of washed out, and you're starting to see some volume accumulation along with a spot here at 7. That's going to be a pretty big one. And then, last but not least, I think this good old snow here. A week open on this one. We can red to green this year at a key level breakout. It's got a $5 ATR. If it opens red, like it may go red to green and use up the $5 ATR like in about 10 minutes. It tends to do that sometimes. So you got to be ready for this one. It does have a spread on it. So just be mindful of that. Guys, let me know if you have any questions. Guys, we have Black Friday. It's still going on for a few more days at Bulls on Wall Street. I think we got bundles on everything. So check that out on the homepage of the website. And, dude, trade well tomorrow, guys.